Attend a baseball game at AT&T Park, and you shouldn't be shocked at the multitude of fans with the number 22 on their backs. Will Clark attained superstar status during his career as a San Francisco Giant.
And Clark hits it up the middle of the center field base hit.
And it would make him a permanent fixture in the storied franchise's history.
Superman has done it again.
This is Inside the Clubhouse. Will the Thrill.
How's everything going? All right, baby?
Nice to see you, puppy.
Good to see you.
Always
Everything's good?
welcome to the stereo.
Thanks.
Well, you're my favorite player growing up. I love it.
Thank you.
I remember that 89 when you hit it over through Mitch Williams.
Yes, indeedy. Hey, that's been a long time right there.
National League Championship Series, 13 for 20, 3 doubles, 2 bombs, 8 ribbies, MVP National League Champion. That's fun. That's fun reliving that. That's fun reliving that. I enjoyed reliving those statistics. So, everybody give a big welcome for the big night tonight. Autism Awareness Night.
One of the reasons why it worked out fine was because I didn't hold anything back from Barry. I told him exactly what I thought, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. And I think he respected that about another player. That, hey, look, you know, you're the MVP, you've been the MVP 3 times, and you're having an MVP year, but I'm still going to talk to you like you're my teammate. I ain't going to talk to you like anybody else.
Because I don't think I really appreciated Will Clark being on the opposition. I don't think you really get to see a person's talent for, you know, when you only get to see him for a 3-game series. And then when you get to see how much he hustles, you really get that effect. You really get to see it.
Will Clark and Barry Bonds led San Francisco to 103 wins in 1993.
Bonds drives in his 7th run, and the Giants lead 8-4.
But over his 8-year tenure with the Giants, nagging injuries forced Clark's production to slide. During the end of the '93 season, Clark's free agent status was on the mind of many Giants fans.
High drive, left field, hit deep. Giants wins,
Fans did not want to see number 22 leave San Francisco. But as contract negotiations started, Clark began to realize that his time as a Giant was coming to an end.
I was not a happy man. I was not a happy man at all. I wanted to stay a Giant for my life. I really did.
There was no revenue sharing in those days. They spent a lot of money on Barry Bonds. They had Matt Williams. So they had some big talent making a lot of money on the club.
That's when the business end of the game comes up and bites you. And then you realize that on a professional level, it's not a game, it's a business. It is definitely a business. And so I was sort of odd man out, so I went to Texas after that.
The Texas Rangers signed Clark for his veteran leadership to help change the mentality of a losing franchise.
We didn't have to do homework on Will Clark. We knew who he was.
Navarro back to Clark. There's the drive hit well to right center. Toward the bullpen. Back is Diaz. Goodbye.
He brought an absolute hate for losing that wasn't there before he got there.
Will Clark bolts it into deep left center field.
He was probably one of the most transforming figures, in Ranger history. And again, this is a team that had never made the playoffs before. And his getting there and the Rangers making the playoffs in 1996, only the second full year that he played there, was no coincidence.
Three-bagger for Will Clark.
You know, you'd be in the middle of baseball season and talking about what the upcoming schedule is for the Cowboys. No. We're winning right here. You need to concentrate on winning baseball right here. All of a sudden, like I said, 3 out of the next 4 years we won championships. It was great to see that whole organization switch around and go from being sort of a last place club to being at the head of the division.
Trey wants this. They just got these in today.
Oh, these are beautiful. These are the old sort of airy, like batting practice jerseys.
So he wants that. You know, when I first started dating Will, I think that at first I didn't know who he was. And then, and I think that I didn't treat him any different than I would anyone else. And so I think that was good for Will. I think that was good for him because he didn't, I think he didn't expect that.
Lisa met Will in their hometown of New Orleans, and in 1994, the couple married.
As luck would have it, he ended up going to Texas, which for us, being a married couple, it was close to our home state and close to our hometown. We, as a married couple, we could have our families come over and visit us, our friends. It worked out pretty good for us.
Oh my, Clark sends one a mile high to right. The knee into the corner, and it's gone.
In 95, I had my first child, had Trey Clark. William Clark III, so we called him Trey for 3. It was actually good for me in my growing up process and my maturing process to play a baseball game and go back home and be with the family. I really, it was that time of my life. I mean, I needed to change, and it was a good change for me.
In 1998, the Calrk family was dealt a new challenge as doctors informed them that their 2.5-year-old son, Trey, was autistic.
Our son Trey is autistic. He's a high-functioning autistic boy, and baseball is kind of his thing.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That was good right there.
He is into players, their stats. He can tell you anything you want to know about baseball. He can tell you anything about baseball in the 1900s, back when baseball started. He can tell you anything you want to know about baseball.
Mr. Murph has an old jersey for you, so you'll be like an old ball player.
Oh, yes.
From the 1912s and 1920s.
Like the Christy Mathewson and John McGraw era.
You got it. Very good. Christy Mathewson and John McGraw. And they are two Hall of
Famers.
All right, very good. Very good.
He's been around baseball for a long time.
Oh, yes.
Yes, you have.
For 16 years.
In 1999, Will was an aging free agent, and he signed with the Orioles. Clark played with Baltimore for 1.5 seasons before getting traded to the St. Louis Cardinals in the middle of the 2000 pennant race to help replace his former Olympic teammate, Mark McGwire. Clark regained his top form with the Cardinals, leading them to the playoffs, but stunned his peers by walking away from the game he loved after the season.
He hit .345 for the Cardinals down the stretch that year and got them into the postseason and got them very close to going to the World Series before they finally succumbed to the Mets. And then he said, I'm hanging him up.
I'm not so sure he wanted to just be known as a pinch hitter who hung on for the next 3 or 4 years and just made a buck. He knew he could still play, but maybe not at the level that Will Clark wanted to play.
Not many of us Major League Baseball players can leave on our terms.
Actually, believe it or not, it was pretty easy. It was pretty easy. You know, I was at the top of my game. I was 36 years old, yet at the same time, I had another role where I needed to be home and be daddy.
It was getting to where it's no life for a child to travel and not be in school when the other kids are in school and try to make up schoolwork, and that's not the kind of life that we wanted to live.
You know, my wife and I had seen a lot of improvement in him the previous off season, and I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out on top. Nobody forced you, nobody gave you a pink slip. You know, you just made your own decision.
Back up, Troy. You throw one back up, okay?
Once Will retired, then we had Ella, and we had a normal life, and I think that's what we enjoy so much, is just all being together all the time and living a normal life.
Trey and I have, we were always tight anyway, but we're really tight now, and Trey is one of my students out there, hitting, and he's made some adjustments. He had a real good year this year himself.
Attaboy, swing it.
It's been fun not only watching the other kids, but also my son improve.
Look, stay all the way through that one, okay? Don't cut it off. All the way through it. There you go, that's better.
When he's not on the baseball field and he's not doing homework and stuff, he's got the MLB package on the TV, and we watch, I couldn't even tell you how many games we watch, not only the Giants, but also other teams, because he's a fan of baseball.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That was good right there. Watch what happens. Watch what happens when you put a lefty and a righty together. When you put a lefty and a righty together, you rub elbows.
Thank God it's summer.
You're getting tired of school?
Yeah.
You wanted a little summer vacation?
Yes. I needed one.
You needed one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were studying so hard, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you're out here with me. You know that?
Yeah.
You and Mom and Ella have all the gang with me.
Yeah.
Needless to say, Trey's a lot shyer, I guess you want to say, than I am. But he likes certain things. He absolutely loves baseball, and he loves the statistical part of baseball.
Well, I just know how he got that homer off from Nolan. And
what was the count, Trey? Remember that?
1-1. Did he throw you 2 curveballs?
No, he threw me 1.
1 curveball. Did he throw you a fastball?
Fastball. You got it. Threw me a fastball, he missed, and he came back with another one. Whack. Got it smacked. We give Trey a little quiz every now and then. It's almost like try to stump Trey quiz.
Who's got the most home runs off of Nolan Ryan?
Career.
I don't know.
Did I stump you?
No, we got you on that one.
Did I stump you on that?
You got me.
Who's got the most home runs off Nolan Ryan?
Oh, dang.
Give me some. Give me some.
I can't believe I stumped you, Trey.
He knows his stuff so much that we hardly ever stump him. So tonight, today, my wife gave him a question he didn't know the answer. She was all fired up because she hadn't asked him a question he didn't know the answer to.
Do you know how many? Do you know how many he's got?
No. 1?
No.
2?
No.
How many?
Is it 8 or 9?
8 or 9, yeah.
8 or 9.
Trey, 1988, I hit 6 homers off of Nolan in that 1 year.
My good.
Which pitcher owns me? I'd have to say Oral Hershiser. I think I'm 1 for my whole career against him with a bunch of strikeouts. Hitters don't really want to admit that to anybody, but at the same time, there is somebody that owns you. But at the same time, there's also people that I own.
Are you and Nolan Ryan pretty cordial?
No, at all. When I went to Texas in '94, Nolan had blown out his elbow in '93, and so they signed him to a 10-year personal services contract. So he was around the clubhouse quite a bit in the 5 years that I was with the Rangers, and I don't think he ever told me hello one time.
What?
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's from the old school, Trey. Hitters and pitchers didn't talk to one another, you know what I mean? That's just the way it went. Hi, Hector.
Oh, well.
How are we doing today?
Good.
Bueno?
In 2009, Will returned to the Giants organization in the role of special assistant. When working with current Giants players, he focuses on the mental aspect of the game.
See, that's another thing too, and nobody really realized that. Look, we're gonna take swings, we're gonna miss it. That's just a fact. It's just a fact of us being human. So as long as you just miss it, but you miss it in a good direction, a good path. So I just missed the ball, okay? Well, all right, here we go. Next swing. I'm not gonna miss this one.
Yeah.
How do you get to be a professional? How do you endure a long season because, 162 games is a long season when you combine it with spring training. There's a reason they call it the dog days of August. How do you get over that hump? If you do that, there's no way that you can do that right there. So that's why guys like me are sort of valuable as far as input like that goes.
Okay, right here. Ready? Coming back at you. Here you go, ready? Sean. How about the ground to the Cassie yesterday?
I'm ready for it. I'm gonna get that, man. Let me work. That was funny, bro. Oh my God.
You were so surprised that ball coming back at you?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Do it again.
From the time I was pregnant with Trey, we were going to baseball games, and so he's always been around baseball.
Look at you.
It's been something that's always kept him engaged. It's something that him and Will have been able to share together, their love for baseball. So it's been a wonderful thing, I think, for Trey.
So this is area 1, this is area 2, this is area 3, right? How's that? Okay, so this is our game. Get your bat. Okay, you gotta hit it. You gotta hit in one of the 3 little boxes. Hey, give me some. 1 box down. All right, let's see if you can't get the other boxes. Kids with autism, just missed again. It sort of brings them out of their shell if they are in a atmosphere of like teammates and stuff like that. Yeah, give me some. 2 for 4, good job. Trey being around a baseball team, like his baseball team, or even the San Francisco Giants here, really helps him out quite a bit. 3-2 bases loaded, bottom of the 9th. Trey Clark up. Yeah! And the Giants win the pennant again. How's that?
Since his retirement, Will and his wife Lisa have become advocates for autism awareness, working closely with the world's largest autism advocacy organization, Autism Speaks.
1 in 110 of all the babies born got autism, and 1 in 70 boys. So the numbers are pretty staggering, and it's something that needs to be addressed and done away with here pretty soon, especially in our lifetime. You know what? I do have a platform, and I try to use that platform to benefit the autism community. And I'm as dedicated to that as I am my sport. Have a good one. Take care. Give me 5. Oh boy.
Will's advocacy can be seen annually at AT&T Park for Autism Awareness Day.
I'm back. Whoa.
Which helps raise money for Autism Speaks.
Okay, my pleasure. It's good seeing you again, too. Take care of yourself.
We will.
All right? Have fun at the game tonight, okay? All right, bud. Good job, Trey.
He's the best pure baseball player I ever played with. Instinctively, on the base paths, in the batter's box, between the lines, he had a sixth sense that was uncanny. That's what he was born to do, and he knew
it. I think Will Clark, when you put it all together, I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame, that he is what the Hall of Fame is all about.
I didn't think there was one day that I played with Will Clark while we were in Giants uniforms together. I didn't think there was one day that I wasn't playing with a future Hall of Famer. Not one day. That's how good he was. Pure baseball player.
Will Clark is unique. He's unique. He's a wonder. You don't find many of them. And again, he was a Hall of Fame player. Because with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th, you'd want Will Clark hitting for you.
You got to want it, but then you got to make it happen. And the only way you make it happen is you want to be that guy. I am that guy that is going to walk up there and I am going to put the nail in this guy's coffin. And guess what? That's the way you win baseball games, especially the tight games. Give me the 3-2 game with a guy on second base and 2 outs, and I have to drive in that run to tie this ball game up. Or I have to drive in this run to beat this guy, to win this ball game. That's where I want to be. That's exactly where I want to be.
I okayed this with the big dudes, okay? You got 3 shots to hit one in McCovey Cove.
Oh, yes.
3 shots. Oh, you see, it's all in the toss. Uh-oh. Oh, right off the facing. All right, look, throw it up a little bit higher. Uh-oh. Yes! McCovey Cove. All right, you gotta take a trip around the bases. Go ahead.
This has been an exclusive presentation from SFG Productions.